Hello everybody, as you know I am Benjamin Magnus. It has been 1 week since I uploaded my 4,000 subscriber update special, and you guys asked me a ton of questions, so I'm going to go through, and it's a big list of questions. I actually don't even know if it's been a week. I think it's been 5, maybe 6 days. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go through the list now, and I'm going to answer as many of those as I can. Any duplicates, I'm just going to mention the first time it appears on the list, and any questions that have been answered in previous Q&A sections, I'm just going to skip over, and if your question got skipped, that's probably because it got answered some other time in the past. First question, Simon Vima, I'm going to say, he says, "Hey Benjamin, can you play Civilization 5 or Beyond Earth, and congrats?" And the answer to that is no. No, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be playing Civilization 5. I actually tried to record a little bit of Civilization 5, and I didn't like the way the videos turned out. I just couldn't really keep the commentary going on Civilization 5 for some reason, and it just didn't turn out. The quality wasn't there. It wasn't up to my own personal standards. And frankly, I hate Beyond Earth. I thought that was a terrible game. I do love Civilization 5 though, and I do play it, and maybe it'll make an appearance on multiplayer streams or some live streams that might be coming up in the near future, so I'll probably play it at some point, but it won't be a series on the channel. Beware of Space asks, "Can you do a subscriber live stream?" And the answer to that one is yes. And I will be testing that out in the next few weeks. I think sometime in the next 2 weeks, I will be testing out streaming and then possibly subscriber live streams shortly after that. But I will keep you guys informed on the progress of that. It will be something that's going to happen on the channel. Cayenne Fox, who's been here for a while and comments regularly, "Thanks dude," asks, "What is your favorite food?" And I was just talking to my wife, who's actually, wait, let's see, she's right off screen right there, right now. Leah, extend your hand. Just wave it. There it is, right there. There's a hand. That's the wife's hand. First appearance on the channel. We were just talking about this because I asked her, I was like, "What do you think my favorite food is?" And I love to cook. I cook all the time, at least a little bit every day. At least once a week, I make like one really big meal. And basically anything made out of chicken, I'm a really big fan of. I make a really good panini, fresh focaccia bread, and a little bit of fresh pesto and some honey mustard, made it all from scratch. That's good. Chicken nachos is really good. I make my own fried chicken at home with mashed potatoes, tons of garlic in there. Really good. So basically that kind of stuff. That's what I really like to eat. And he says, "Which countries have you been to on holiday?" And Canada. But I used to live up in New York, so Canada didn't really count to us. James Starr asked, "Are you ever going to move?" And the answer is yes. In about 6 weeks, we'll go with this, 6 weeks, I'll be moving, but it's actually literally to across the street from this shithole that I live in right now. I'm going to be moving to a much nicer apartment, and so in about 6 weeks, and maybe even the next update you see on the channel will probably be a different background because I'll be in a different apartment. MB, very short name there, just an M and a B. "Are you going to do Twitch?" I don't know if I'll be streaming on Twitch. I know that YouTube has its own inbuilt streaming system, and I might try that because I know it gives all of the subscribers a little indicator to let you know exactly when I'm live streaming. So I'm thinking I'm going to be streaming on YouTube, you know, YouTube's streaming gaming thing, whatever it's called, rather than on Twitch. But I do have a Twitch account. If I can't get that set up, I will be on Twitch. Jared Enlow asks, "Hey Ben, have you heard of RimWorld?" Yes, I have heard of RimWorld, and I've never played it, but I've watched Mathis Games play it a bunch. It's kind of the channel that I always, that was my go-to channel before I started doing my own YouTube thing, Mathis Games. If you've never seen him before, go watch him. He's really good. He played RimWorld for a little while, and I really liked watching him play it. I've never played it myself, and frankly, it was a little out of my price range. I don't have a lot of spare money to spend on video games, and last time I looked, I think it was like 50 bucks or something like that. And there was never, you know, just a spare 50 bucks laying around for me to spend on RimWorld. So I've never played it myself, but if I owned it, I would love to play it. RimWorld looks like a great game. I've played Dwarf Fortress before, and it's kind of like Dwarf Fortress-esque in its, you know, its delivery and its like complexability. So I would really love to play RimWorld if I owned a copy of it. Archangel Mike asks, "What is the weirdest things you have seen at your day job or the creepiest?" And I'm not really permitted to say, you know, very specifically, you know, what happens at during my day job. I just not allowed to do that. But what I will say is the weirdest / creepiest thing I've ever seen is the disposal of human remains. We'll leave it at that. James H says, so with Gamescom back again, what has impressed you and what has disappointed you? For me, Star Wars Battlefront has looked good so far, but Mafia 3 has disappointed me to straying from its roots. I actually didn't even like Mafia 2 or Mafia 1. I played them, and at one point, I honestly thought I was still playing the tutorial until I looked and realized that I was like 70% through the way through the game, and I was like, this is freaking terrible. So, sorry, I did not like Mafia. Star Wars Battlefront, I'm finding to be a huge disappointment, not based off of what I've seen, but based off what I've read about the game's stats. Like, look, I don't understand why it's so hard to make large servers these days. So many games, the servers are, you know, a lot of games, there are big, like, what am I thinking of? What game am I thinking of? Red Orchestra. Red Orchestra has nice large servers, and some of the other Battlefront games from the past have had great sized servers, but it seems like every new incarnation of these games, the servers get really, really small and more narrow, and I just don't feel like that really leads to the kind of gameplay that I'm interested in. Something that has impressed me is the new Paradox game, Stellaris, a grand strategy game in space. That has me like chafing at the bit to get my hands on that game. That just sounds so epic. Can you imagine, like, in the near future, a grand strategy game that went Crusader Kings 2, Europa Universalis, Victoria 3, Hearts of Iron 4, Stellaris, one right after the other? You could play a game for thousands of years, potentially. That's amazing to me. Just the idea of that is mind-boggling. Marcel Rusieski asks, can you play Banished? I probably will be playing Banished at some point. I don't know if it'll be streamed. I don't know if it'll be on the channel as, you know, standard videos, but I do plan on playing a little bit of Banished. I am actually really enjoying learning my way through the game so far. Rare Pepe Gaming asks, well, first he says, congratulations. Thanks, dude. A lot of people said congratulations so far, but I've just been skipping over theirs. Thanks to everyone who said congratulations, by the way. Thank you very much. It says, how and why did you actually start your channel? Plus, how do you manage it? Now, how I started my channel, I've mentioned this before. I don't think ever in an actual update video, and pardon me for not actually looking at the camera for so long. I keep reading the comments on the screen instead of looking at the camera here. I've told this story in video form, but never in an update, I think. And I was actually sitting here playing Hearts of Iron 3, actually, about a year and a half ago, maybe a little less than that, with my buddy Tim. And we'd been playing for a really long time, had been doing really bad, and we were like, let's just start over. And then he said, you know what, we play video games a lot. And I looked at my Skype, and I realized we had been gaming for like 6 hours at that point. So I was like, you know what, we do. And I decided that day I wanted to do something a little more productive with my gaming time. So I decided that, hey, a lot of people try the YouTube thing. I'll give it a go. Probably won't come of anything. I didn't actually expect anybody to really watch this. I didn't anticipate it growing this quickly or you know, this spectacularly in my eyes. So I just started researching it. I went online, and interestingly enough, I watched YouTube videos on how to make YouTube videos. It's kind of like a vicious circle there, isn't it? So I watched some YouTube videos about editing and how to go about promoting your channel and stuff like that, and I just started working. And it's not anything like you can really just do and be good at. You have to do it for a while and kind of learn as you go. That's what I found, at least. I don't find my early videos very good at all compared to my new ones, and part of the reason is this wonderful thing right here: pop filter, Blue Yeti microphone, and this guy right down here. This is a Radius 2 shock mount. So all this, oh, and there's a boom arm right over here. It's just off screen. But all this equipment really makes the audio quality good. Video quality is really just a matter of time, rendering and recording in 1080p. That's just something you got to learn. You got to learn how to use the editing programs. It's really not that difficult, but that's how the channel started, and that's basically how I went about learning how to do this, watching YouTube videos on how to make YouTube videos. The Maple Canadian asks, what religion are you if you have one? And the answer to that is I basically don't have one. I'm atheist. I'm not like a crazy pushy atheist. I'm content to just believe what I believe and let everybody else believe what they believe, and we can all be happy and live our lives. Chrono Marine asks, does your wife play video games, or is it only you who does? Now, occasionally she does. There are some instances where we're playing like Lego Star Wars, where she is like freaking psycho about getting she's laughing at me right now. You can see the pillow moving because she's laughing. She's a nut about getting every single one of the little Lego bit. What are they called? What are they called, hon? The little bits that you gotta collect? Studs? Is that it? Gotta collect all the studs. And like, I would just be like blowing through the levels, like trying to get out of the next one, and she'd be like hitting me with the remote, be like, no, we have to just explore everything. So that's kind of the extent of our gaming together. Oh, and sometimes she likes to watch me play horror games, so that might be a thing for the future to watch out for. Omar Salazar asks, what game first got you into gaming, specifically PC gaming? And I actually know exactly what game, bless you, exactly what game that was, and that was the first medieval Total War. When I was like 16, I got my first job, saved up a little money, and I bought myself a laptop. And when I bought the laptop, I immediately went to Best Buy and picked out a game to play on it, and that was Medieval Total War. That was kind of when I really started PC gaming. He also asked, have you ever played World of Warships? And the answer is no, unfortunately. I did play World of Tanks for a very, very long time. I started playing that at like incarnation like 6.7 or something like that 4 years ago or something like that. I really loved the game. I honestly got out of it though when it got really popular, and the like, what am I trying to, I'm trying to think of how I want to articulate this. The player base, when the player base was small, it was more mature, but as the player base grew and it became a much more popular game, the maturity level of the people you were playing with really plummeted, and that's when my interest in the game kind of started to lag out. I played World of Warplanes a little bit, found it way too arcadey for my flavor. When it comes to flight sims, I like simulation, not arcade. And I've not played World of Warships yet. No, I have not tried it, but if I have some free time coming up in the near future, I'd love to give it a shot. Zephyr Games asks, will you be doing an EU4 multiplayer series? Yes, I just don't know exactly when that. It kind of when yet? I think I mixed those two words into one. EU4 multiplayer, yes, I will be doing that. Do not know exactly when. It's going to depend on the success of the channel, basically. If it gets to the point where I can take a little bit of time off of work and spend a little bit more time on the channel, then yes, multiplayer series and streams are going to be the top things on my list to start doing. Louis Avila asks, speech cobbler or pie? Pie. I make a mean apple pie. Love pie. Zach Burke asked a bunch of questions, most of which were already answered, but the only one that hadn't been was, do you like Total War? And the answer is yes and no. I already just said that I played Medieval Total War, and I loved that game, and I played every single Total War game up till Rome 2. And I loved every single one up to Rome 2, but I hate Rome 2 with a burning, burning, burning passion. I found Empire Total War easily one of my favorites because I have like a penchant for like 17th, 18th century naval combat. I don't know why. I like tall ships. I just do, and they have those in that game, which I find terribly entertaining. Shogun 2 was amazing just because it was a masterful game. It added so much to the series, and graphically it was gorgeous, even if the AI is a little lacking and there isn't unit collision like there really should be. And then Rome 2 came along, and it was a disgusting piece of garbage. The last time I'm ever pre-ordering a freaking game, Rome 2, what a waste of money. It was just a buggy, broken, disgusting piece of gaming garbage when I got it, and even after like a year of updates, I still didn't find it entertaining because it had been dumbed down to such a high degree from Shogun 2 to Rome 2. They just eliminated so much stuff that didn't need to be eliminated and added in a bunch of stuff that was completely pointless. I really don't like the game. But Shogun 2 is still great. Gloryfire21 asks, what is your most favorite game you've played on this channel, and are you happy that you crushed China? And I gotta say, probably the most fun I've actually had recording. It's hard to say. I would say it's probably Hearts of Iron 3, because I really do love that game. But right below that, and it's something that most of you probably have never even seen, is Kerbal Space Program. I fucking love Kerbal Space Program. And yes, I'm extremely happy I crushed China. Joe MC asks, what's your favorite period in history? And I'm gonna have to say Roman Republican history. So basically, you know, the legendary founding of the city in 753, and up to basically the fall of the Republic, the rise of the Empire. Joe MC also asks, hey, who the Fallout 4 copy be on console or Steam? I'm assuming he means, will it be on console or Steam? Steam, it's gonna be a PC copy of the game. Brent Roberts asks, what is your favorite color and your favorite number? My favorite color is basically the color of this shirt I'm wearing right now, which is why I put it on for this video. And favorite number? 8. Cody Phelps asks, no homo, but you're pretty hot. That was really more of a comment than a question, but yes. Yes, I am. Also humble. Jacob Trumbull asked, a quick question, what are your PC specs? Now, I'm not exactly sure what you want to know. My PC is not amazing. I'm actually going to pull up my specs on Steam here because I believe it tracks everything you have on your computer. I'm currently running Windows 10. I just upgraded to it. Not really liking it so far, but it will need, it's just like any operating system. It's going to need some time to work out the bugs. I was running Windows 7 before for the rest of the channel. I have a 3.4 gigahertz of quad-core processor. It is an AMD. My graphics card is an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 760. It does the trick. It's not top of the line, but it definitely does the trick. And I have, I believe, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Tom Gecko asks, can we get to know you more through a house tour? And sure, but not right now. I will do that in like 6 weeks when I move, because I'm going to be out of this place pretty soon. Martin Spartan asks, how old are your cats? Dinah, the littler one that we've had since she was a baby, she's 1? 2? 2. She's 2 years old, and the fat one is 5. We've actually had him for only a few months, but he was an adopted one. Silver Comic asks, what are your thoughts on Windows 10? I've gone over it a little bit. It's kind of funny. I'm a little torn. Certain things are less stable. Games tend to crash more, but a lot of processes are quicker. The system starts up quicker. Rendering time is cut down by about half an hour. It used to take me about 2 hours to render down a video. Now it's about an hour and a half. That saves me a buttload of time. I'm really thrilled with that. So at least that is worth it for me. And he says, what are your thoughts on Stellaris? Stellaris, if I could speak correctly. Stellaris. There we go. Enunciate. So I am super excited about it. I cannot wait to get my hands on Stellaris, and I'm really hoping that with the way the channel's growing, that maybe in 6 months to a year, I'll have enough clout to actually get Paradox to work with me with, you know, Hearts of Iron and Stellaris coming out. Maybe get myself in on that a little early like Arumba or Quill 18 does. Pim Van Dijik asks, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Still going to be living here in Orlando. Me and my wife don't plan on leaving, but I would love to be doing this full-time in 5 years. Hell, I'd love to be doing this full-time in 1 year. I'd love to be doing this full-time in 6 months. Ramses32 asks, what are your goals for 2016? Now, I haven't exactly thought of that, considering we're only halfway through 2015. But my goal for 2015 was to get 5 million minutes watched on my channel, and we just went past that like 3 weeks ago, so completely shattered that goal. The channel's grown far more than I ever expected it to, so I have no idea. Even for the end of this year, we could potentially, I don't know, what I really want for the end of this year is 10,000 subscribers, and theoretically, should be able to hit that. Connor Sinclair asks, any big things planned for the future? Games or new series? There will be plenty of new series for the future. I'd love to play a little bit of Banished. I'm going to be playing Fallout 4 because, fuck, it's Fallout 4. I'm going to be playing it one way or another. Might as well record it and put it on the channel. Hearts of Iron 4, you guys know I'm going to be playing that. Stellaris when it comes out. Hell yes, I'm going to be playing that. Just started up a little Vicky 2. That's been going really well so far. I'd love to play a little bit more Kerbal Space Program. I don't know if you guys are going to be really into that sort of thing. I don't know if it'd be good for the channel or not, but I'd love to play a little bit more Kerbal Space Program. John Smith wants to know, will you be resuming Rome Universalis? Basically, my EU4 converted save file from my big 220 episode long CK2 game where I reform the Roman Empire. I would like to, but I'm still having that problem where Windows 10 will not allow me to record EU4, so I'm gonna have to get that sorted out before I can do that, but I would really love to restart that series. Are you married, good sir? Yes, my wife's hand did make an appearance in this video. Leah, say hi. General Rubenensky asked a couple questions. Have you played any Total War games? Yes, we've gone over that already. Have you thought about live streaming games in the future? Yes, that is going to be a thing, also covered already. What new features of Hearts of Iron 4 are you most excited for, and what are you hoping to see in the game? What don't you want to see? What I'm really excited for is that the game doesn't look like it's going to be set on rails, it's just, you know, straightforward and linear as Hearts of Iron 3 was. You basically had to do World War II as World War II unfolded, and in a Paradox game, that's not what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the ability to expand and do an alternate history, and that's what I'm looking forward to in Hearts of Iron 4. What I do not want to see is, you know, the pet peeves I had from Hearts of Iron 3. I don't want to see game crashes from memory leaks. I do not want to see placeholder artwork that never got replaced. That's what I do not want to see. And what got you interested in creating YouTube videos? And that is something we went over before earlier. My friend told me we play games too much, so I decided to do something more productive. That's the short answer. NASA 852, have you ever tried Europa Universalis 4 Hearts of Iron 3 with a South American country? Yes, I did a Hearts of Iron 3 gameplay with me as Argentina and my buddy as Brazil once, and we got the shit kicked out of us by the United States. Michael Olson asked, do you play board or card games? I used to play Magic when I was younger. I loved Magic. I still have tons of Magic cards sitting in a box in my closet that haven't been touched in a decade, but I still have them just because I like them. Zachary Ginn asked, what is the most difficult thing about being a YouTuber? And for me personally, it's the time that it takes. I work full time. I have a wife. I have pets. I have chores I need to do. I have stuff to take care of. And so, you know, the 20 and 25, sometimes more, the bigger the channel gets, the more time it takes. The 20 to 30 hours a week it takes to keep the channel running is a huge time sink. So for me, just finding time to record and edit and do things like that, all the channel related stuff, that is the most difficult thing for me, just physically having enough time to do everything. Anne-Marie Hernandez, who is actually a friend of mine from work, hey Anne-Marie, asks, how does it feel to be a part of YouTube? And it feels fucking great. I really like doing this. It's really fun to be able to, you know, record these games and interact with my viewers on a daily basis. Crusader Gaming asks, is it going to be engagement from this point on or overall? And it actually is going to be overall, but I mentioned it before, and the top 10 people engagement-wise from the last giveaway were all relatively new members of the channel. There were people who had been, you know, engaging in the channel for only a few weeks and just constantly commenting, you know, commenting and liking and sharing multiple videos all the time whenever they popped up. That's what really got them to the top of the list. So don't worry if you know, you're feeling like you're not going to be able to climb to the top of that engagement ladder. It's going to be really easy to move up. It's just the people who are, you know, most devoted fans that are going to be at the top of that list. Rax Savage asks, XCOM 2, you gonna rock it? Probably. XCOM 1 was really fun. The Hawk asks, my question is, how's it going with your goal of taking more days off of work to make more videos? And so far, I have not been able to do that. I do not make enough from the channel to be able to take days off of work, but that point is creeping up on us, and I will keep you guys informed. Mr. Joey Goose asks, my question is, why is your couch so stained? It's not. It's just micro suede, so the fabric looks like it's a different color depending on which way the fibers are. So if you go and, you know, smooth it out, it'll all look the same color. Linux Distro Dude says, if YouTube gave you the option of losing half your total views for $1.75 per view or 672 subscribers, what would you choose? And that's an easy question. I have like 700,000 views right now, so if I lost half my views for $1.75 a view, I'd have $500,000. So I would easily take that. And I mean, views are easy to come by. Now that the channel is growing, the views are just pouring in, so it's not like they'd be hard to make up. Okay, folks, those are all the questions. There are a lot of them. I just realized I've been recording for over half an hour now. Now it's going to get edited down to be shorter, but it's still, I've been talking for a while. So there are a couple things that I do want to cover, and I just realized probably this whole time I haven't been looking at the camera, but I guess I'll figure that out when I'm editing. Okay, on to the things I wanted to mention. I just made myself an Instagram account. Now, that Instagram account has a link in the YouTube banner that is on the homepage for the channel. So if you go just to the regular homepage for Benjamin Magnus Games, and in the banner there's a couple little buttons, you can click on the little Instagram and it'll link you to my profile. Now, my Twitter account has been mostly for talking to other YouTubers and gaming companies and things like that. The Instagram account is going to be more personal day-to-day stuff, just kind of about me and my daily life. So if you guys want to get to know me a little better, Instagram is definitely going to be the way to do that. And another thing, I don't know how I feel about this yet, but I just went and I made myself a Patreon account. Now, I don't want you guys to feel like I'm selling out. What I really want to do is be able to make more content, and to make more content, I'm going to need, you know, a little bit more money. So if you guys click on the link in the banner, that'll take you to my Patreon account. That will list all of the goals, the milestones that I want to hit, and you know what donating what little bits of money will get you in the future. And one of the things that is most important about that is naming unit. I feel like it's a really cool thing, naming units in the game. I feel like that's a really good way for you guys to be able to, you know, get personally attached with the series. But it's become, as the channel's gotten bigger, it's become a bit of a burden, honestly. I mean, I had pages and pages. I have a 4 foot by 3 foot whiteboard right behind me here. It was completely filled with requests at one point. I've got a notebook right here that's got pages and pages and pages of requests listed in it, and like every single division in the game, it like right now is basically in the Japan game, basically has somebody attached to it, and I never really get a chance to you know follow whose units are doing what, because there's just so many. So if anybody donates any amount to the Patreon account, they will basically get the rights to name units in the future. So that's the one thing I really wanted to mention, is in that way there'll be fewer, and I don't want to make this sound kind of like douchey or anything like that, but there'll be fewer, so I'll be able to focus more in on them and kind of point them out more often, and show you guys, you know, whose units are doing what in what game. It was easier in my Germany playthrough because there was far less subscribers then, to be able to say, hey, this guy's unit was here and there and there. Hey, you could see a cat and a wife's hand right over there. Oh, look at that. Oh, they're playing. Oh, that's so cute. So that's it for that. Visit the Patreon account. You'll see all the different tiers listed, and I'll just go over them really quickly. Basically, the first tier will get you naming rights. The second tier will get you voting rights when I need to pick out a new series or, you know, anything like that for the channel. The third tier will get you, hey Binks, the third tier will get you access to my personal Skype, so that we can talk about strategy and video games and things like that whenever you guys want. The fourth tier will get you, what the hell was it? I don't even remember now. Oh, yes, now I remember. The fourth tier will get you guaranteed invitation to the multiplayer playthroughs, and the fifth tier will get you one on my personal Steam account invite, so that you guys can play one-on-one with me when there is time. But it's all, like I said, it's all listed on the Patreon account. I don't expect anybody to, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to. If you want to, it's there, and I appreciate even $1. All right, that is going to be it for today, folks. So thank you for all those questions. I hope you enjoyed the answers, and as always, I will see you guys next time.